Mario Canon, how are you, my man? I wanted to start off today by saying that you and I started working together at DeNovo Agency. I went back and looked. We started in April of 2020. We did a handful of campaigns. I think we did 5 or 6 different campaigns. Yeah. But I remember when you came to us, you might have had 40 or 50,000 followers at the time. Mm-hmm. And I went to check today and you have like just under 800,000. So congratulations on all the growth you've had since I first crossed your path. But you are doing a lot of cool things that I think artists would love to learn about. You're an actor, you're a businessman, fitness aficionado, and you're a musical artist. So I'm excited to talk about all the different successes you've had. I did have a personal request today to ask, with your experience on Empire, do you know 50 Cent?
Well, 50 Cent, he didn't have anything to really do with Empire. I don't think he was.
That's Power, of course. So,
but
wow.
Crazy thing is about that is I actually did meet 50 Cent, and I've actually auditioned a lot for Power, and I've come real close to actually being on that show. But yeah, I met 50 Cent. I actually opened up for 50 Cent in Chicago.
That's cool. And I know you're from Illinois. So what was that like? You must have grew up listening to 50. He was a huge part of hip hop when I was growing up.
Yeah.
So like, what was that like, opening and performing with someone who was like a legend when you were a teenager?
I mean, honestly, man, it was incredible, man. And the experiences, you don't experience it till you experience it, right? It's one thing to watch it on YouTube, but when you're in these people's presence, you'll understand why they're in the position they're at. They give off an aura. You can just tell that they worked so hard. And I think that just experiencing it alone, just being there was incredible. But I got to shake his hand and say, what's up to him? You know, it was cool as shit, man.
Right.
It was personable. It was dope.
What was like the first moment that you had where, because I think for so long you're in like hip hop or any genre, you're first like a fan. When did these folks start to feel more like peers rather than just like the artists you used to look up to? Or is it still kind of a mix of both?
It's a mix of both still. I'm still a fan, man, because I love the art. But when people started to know me by my first name, they already knew me. And I was like, oh, shoot. Like, shit, man, I'm a peer. Like, you know me? Ludacris, and when E40's like, oh, what's up, little Mario? Man, I already know about you, man. You do your thing. I was like,
so what year did you graduate high school?
Man, I graduated high school a long time ago, bro. Old school, man, back in the 2000s. Yeah.
I was 2010.
2010. Okay, yeah.
That was like when Ludacris, I think it was like a year after Ludacris did Theater of the Mind, where he did that record with Lil Wayne. And what else was on that album? That album was awesome. I used to bump that all the time going to high school. And if Ludacris was like, oh, what's up, Elliot? That would be a really surreal moment.
Ludacris is from Illinois.
And he grew up there and then he went to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Got his sound, and
we have mutual we have mutual relationships. It's crazy how connected me and him were. When I was on this trailer, we talked about some things and we had some people we were connected to. And it was just crazy how close we were just in our relationships with different people, with him being from Champaign, you know? So, yeah.
How much, now that you've made so many different moves in different industries, obviously a lot of that is because you're super talented, but I'm wondering what percentage would you give to like your skill of networking, of like being able to, one, get in the room with somebody like Ludacris, but then like strike it up and like have that conversation where he knew you because you were working with somebody. Like, how much of that like skill of networking would you say is part of, or partly responsible for where you're at now?
I want to say like 90%, right? So like, and when we say networking, I'll tie it in with business, having your business in order in your presentation. That's 90%, man. Being able to hold a conversation is be able to be likable and personable, be able to be yourself, man, and learning the ropes, learning when to not to fan out, how to stay calm, how to stay poised. It's all a major part of the game. But yeah, I'll say 90%, man. It's all about your networking. Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. I think in a way that's a pretty humble answer, because I think a lot of musicians or in any sort of business would be like, no, it's my own skill. I'm very much responsible. It's my own talent. But it's like, that is very much part of it. But like, if you can't play that game, regardless of if you're an actor, a business owner, a musician, there is an element of a game being played where you need to bring value to someone else in order to get value in return. I think a lot of folks misunderstand networking for like saying, hi, hey, I'm Elliot, see you later. Like, that's not networking.
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's really interesting. I think folks can definitely learn from, especially from like your perspective of the networking is 90% of the game, perhaps.
And honestly, man, what you have to understand as an artist is nobody owes you anything. So you know, nobody owes you anything. So either you're worth something or you're worthless, but you gotta be worth it or you're worthless. Like, you're wasting time. So make sure that you, like you said, you have to bring value. Like, why should these people who are already in position, they're already in their spots, why should they even, give you anything? Like, how can you help increase their business? How can you add value to their business?
Yeah,
that's what it's about.
Well, and I think you mentioned a key ingredient. Do people like working with you? Unless you are the top 1% of your field, if you're an asshole, people are not going to work with you. I think a great example, even to a degree, could be like somebody like Kyrie Irving is so talented, but there's a point where if he's just not getting along with people and he's hard to deal with, they're kind of done with him, even if he's the best point guard in the league. Even if you're one of the best musicians out there, if people don't enjoy working with you, whether it's a record label exec or it's a producer, an audio engineer, other artists, that eventually is going to compound and you're going to kind of be like on an island with your ego, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard you want good people now. If you're coachable, man, we can create the talent that, you might be lacking in some areas, but when you can't teach, character. And if your character is flawed, man, then, by all means, man, I pray that, you try to improve on that, but it's something that, that's very important. You can't teach, man. You gotta have character,
I agree. And it reminds me of that saying, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. It's a similar kind of thing where like,
yeah,
you can be skilled, but like, Larry Bird could beat Isaiah Thomas, maybe not because he was more talented, but maybe he worked hard. One of the songs I wanted to ask you about, because it struck a chord with me yesterday when I was listening to it. It's called Rich in Pain.
Yeah.
And it came out last year. And it seemed like a lot of the songs that I listened to yesterday and today, like, you were telling some sort of story or had like some sort of moral or message behind it, where it wasn't all just like braggadocious.
Yeah.
But this song in particular kind of struck a chord with me. And I was wondering if you don't mind, could we talk just a little bit about like what your writing process was for that song? Because it seemed to be a slightly different tone than some of the other songs. And I'm wondering what got you to that spot to make that song.
Rich in Pain is exactly what it sounds like. I'm rich in pain. I smile a lot, and my presentation is great on social media, but I carry a lot of pain. Carry a lot of baggage from being where I'm from, and I lost a lot of people I loved, and I was dealing with a lot at that time in the industry because I had so many people, quote unquote, in my corner. So when you start to reach different levels, you got new devils. The levels are new devils, and the devils come disguised as friends, supporters, people who pretend like they care, and it's all transactional. And when you realize these relationships are transactional, you'll get a rich in pain, right?
Yeah.
And so I just put it all on the song, man. The tone was different, the flows were different because I love drill beats, but I love drill beats, the UK and New York drill beats, because I want to give them a different energy on those type of beats and not be violent, but actually just have real substance. So that's what Richard Payne was about, man. It was about, you know, me carrying weight while dealing with fake love and still being able to create, right?
Yeah.
And, everybody loves you, right? The minute you say no to something, that's when they judge you. That's when all the truth comes out. Tell somebody no, and they'll tell you their true feelings about you.
You get all the ingredients there for like a pretty vicious cocktail.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because we were just talking about networking and how like a lot of that is, well, hey, you have some sort of value. You can bring me some sort of value. Networking in and of itself is somewhat transactional, if not immediately. Maybe in the future, we can each get some value together. We should know each other. And the flip side of that is as soon as the perceived value that you offer isn't of value to them anymore, next, like on to the next one. And does that stop? Like, do you now have like your walls up where like, even if someone does have just your genuine interest and they just want to be a friend, like, is it hard for you to kind of not take it with a grain of salt?
Yeah, it is. It's in fact, it's tough because I'm such a likable person. I'm such an outgoing guy. Like I love people. I love to see people smile. I'm very giving, but you know, as I get deeper and as I reach, you know, again, different accolades, I meet, you know, new energies that are even more confusing. So now I have a wall up because not only have I lost the people I love in my life to violence, but now I'm dealing with a new demon, a new battle. And that's people who pretend like they care for a transactional experience with me, with the expectations of I'm either going to improve their life or further their career in some way, shape, or form.
And do you find yourself with folks around that? Because I can see how somebody sees the success that you're achieving. And if they think they can get a piece of it, they will find a reason to feel entitled to it.
Yes.
Do you find like, just because like, hey, you picked me up from the airport, now I got to give you 2 points on my album? What the hell's going on here? You know, like,
it's the scariest thing right now for me is not to accept any favors from anybody. Well, I've had this happen a lot recently as I've continued to have more success in entertainment, and they'll like shoot me a list of all the things that they did for me whenever I don't respond in a timely fashion or I don't do something that they want me to do. They'll have like a bullet point of things that they've done for me. This shit hurts me. I'm like, whoa, you're not my friend at all. And, all right, cool. Back to the street. So then I go back to the, you know, you got the professional Mario Canon, the businessman, then you got the street smart dude, right? So now I got to play the game. So now I got to play this game with people and understand that at any given moment, you're going to show me your true colors and your teeth are going to show. So I got to make sure that I'm on my game and I don't expose too much of myself to people. I'm not vulnerable emotionally to people anymore.
That must be tough. And I think in a way, more power to you for being able to develop that skill of being able to spot that, but then also like build up your defenses in order to deal with it. Now, you mentioned like you built a brick wall. I'm wondering, do you feel like you kind of built that wall on your own, or did you have to go and find help and develop some sort of way to determine who has my best interests in mind and who doesn't?
Both, right? So I through my trials and tribulations, I lost a lot of money, Ellie. You know what I'm saying? I lost a lot of money helping people. I lost a lot of money believing in people. I lost a lot of time, a lot of friendships. So those losses you don't get to see. You know, I lost 6 figures last year, man, in investments and just helping people. But none of the people, you know, that I thought were none of those people are going to be there. You know, they're not going to save me, right? You know what's crazy? We're talking about this. I just did a song about this called Bulletproof Hearts, about this topic. I'm actually going to be dropping that here soon. I'm going to shoot.
Oh, sweet. Hell, unfortunately, some of the best music comes from these dire, shitty situations.
Come from darkness, man.
And I think you alluded to it earlier where like, when you were growing up, you had a different kind of darkness based on where just your area. You didn't really have any say, right? It kind of just came to you. You were put in it. Lost, I don't know what you heard, but my question, you're in a certain spot where you have different trials and tribulations than Joe Schmo. In a good way, but also we're seeing it's not all good. I'm wondering, in this phase where musicians and other celebrities are now feeling more like your peers, are you feeling that it's easier to connect with them now because you more or less understand certain things that you could not have understood before?
Oh yeah, definitely. I get it. And you know how people used to get upset or like the celebrities blowing me off or they don't respond to my message or they're too good. No, these people are freaking busy. They got a life too. They got family, they got kids, they got love life, they got wives, they got girlfriends, they got everything. Husbands, kids. These people are busy. These people got schedules they have to attend to. There's a lot of people that depend on that one person. That one person has a bodyguard, an assistant, a manager. All these people will make a living off them. They have to make sure they're on point. So they don't have time to be talking, speaking about hearsay or sideline talk. Are we doing business together or what? I got a mission to accomplish, especially I'm at a point in my career right now where I've got to go all the way in. I will have the leisure time that artists that's solidified in the game may have over me. Because right now, everything counts for me. Because it's either going to make me or break me. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm at,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a really great point because it's almost like to the general psyche of like hip hop fans in particular, like Ludacris is kind of ludicrous. If he puts out another album or another movie, in our minds, he's still Luda. He is who he is to us. But you are still kind of forming your print in that psyche.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering when, you've talked to Twista, you've talked to Ludacris and, The Game and E40, what are some of the things that they might say are the biggest differences between coming up in 2004 to now?
There's so many more easier and harder at the same time. It's easier to create the templates you need and appear like you're something, but it's harder to actually break into the industry, right? So it's easier to pretend now because there's more access to things that make you look good and things that could, appear to be working for you, right? But then it's harder to be in the industry because it's so monopolized by the bigger machines, like the labels control, right? Success has to be defined by what you consider success. Like if you're making money doing what you love to do, you already won. You won in life. You just won in general as far as just being, having a foot in society and being somebody that contributes to the ongoing cycle of life and helping the overall general people, right? You won. So though I would say like don't let anybody or any machine trick you out of the spot you already have. It's just because you don't have $10 million. $1 million is just as good. Just because you don't have a Bentley, hey, a Mercedes is just as good,
I think you're 100% right. Because I think an ingredient that gets left out of so many people's equation or their recipe of like what they think success is. I'm going to get on my Gary V vibe here, but like happiness is often an ingredient that is left out of the equation because they think that the recipe will equal happiness. Oh, the Bentley. Oh, 10 million in the bank account instead of 2. Oh, the 5,000 square foot house instead of the 3,000. And it's like, if you're always chasing something, it's hard to define what that success is. And if you can't attain it, will you ever be happy? And it's like this crazy game that we all play where I think a lot of people have a hard time being like, you know what, this is okay. If I can maintain this, I'll be good. But America, the capitalism, it's always like, well, we got to be 5% better every year. And if not, then I fucked up. And it's like, well, what is the level where if I make, okay, I'm making $1 million a year and I'm pretty good. Like, why not just stay here?
Well, this is crazy because I definitely, my next release, I want to just release it with you guys. I think this is going to segue this. So this, and this is a random podcast, right? We kind of just put this together, but this is how organic this is, Elliot. Check this out. The song I did yesterday, any one of these clips of us talking could be the intro to it because it's so powerful to what I'm speaking on. Just being happy. And I can honestly tell you, at one of my peaks in the past year or so, I never been so miserable in my life with people. I was happy that I was finally doing something that I love to do on a bigger grand scheme, but I felt terrible inside, man, because, people that I love started to hate me. And, like people thought that I had just signed a big deal because Swissa took me on tour. So like I was getting messages about money, that I was getting death threats. I'm getting death threats from people, family, random, like, cause I wouldn't help because I didn't have what they thought I had to give.
Mm. Yep. I think a lot of people, they see, oh, he's on Empire, he's on TV, he must have $10 million, or they don't quite get it. And I think even if, okay, they say, wow, he's on tour, he made it. They don't see the amount of money that might have gone into producing the album that you performed on tour. But they don't know that you might have had to pay to get to every show and to buy your own meals and to, if you have your friends with you to sell merch or to be a bodyguard or something, you're paying. They don't. I don't think they get it. I think it's easy for Joe Schmo who doesn't understand that Spotify doesn't pay artists jack shit, or that like an opening gig, although great for your career, might not have paid a ton.
You might have to pay to do it.
You may have to pay to do it. Like
remember you told me what to do. What'd you tell me to do? You remember? You told me to do a song. You told me whoever I did my feature with, when I was talking about doing a song with Twista, I asked you guys, you said, if you can do a song with Twista, see if you can do some shows with them. See if you can build a relationship with them, maybe pay to do some shows with them. I did exactly what you guys told me to do. And the shit blew me up because after I paid to do shows with him, he just took me along with him because he loved me so much. Twista genuinely liked me. When you pay for a feature, yes, I paid for a feature, but after that, there was no more features. Now I'm getting the shit done for free. Now he wants to bring me along because I add value to his set. I bring value to being around him. I dress nice. I have real jewelry. I'm respectful. I'm on time. I have security. My manager's there. The music is great. I have fans. I bring them to a younger crowd. All that. So
it's butted up.
I did what you guys told me to do. Just don't do a feature. Just be doing a feature to say, I did a feature. I got a song with so-and-so. No, you need to do a song with somebody you can build with.
Yep. Well, that's awesome. That does sound like something we would say. And
that's something you guys said.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. I'm glad we had a part of helping that out because that's really cool.
Yeah, you guys did, man. Yeah, I even read like your classes and like when you guys post informationals and videos, I always watch them. I always take notes. To this day, that's why I want to roll out my release with you guys. I want to plan a release just with you, just about this. Yeah, I already did the song.
Right, it's already done.
Yeah.
Well, we'd be down to help, and I mean, since you're doing this with me, I'll do it for free.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah,
y'all heard that?
Yeah, right. It's in here. This is a verbal contract right here. But I mean, I think that is advice I've given to many folks. Where like, yes, it's great if you had just had a song with Twista and that was it. Hey, Barty, but here's my audio file. Thanks for the $5,000. See you later. It's a nice benefit for you to have on your album or something, but it's now still something that you need to pay to promote and get out there. If you could have, and it sounds like you did, say our other artist with another feature, if you could have paid $7,000 and gotten him to do 5 or 6 Instagram videos together. Maybe you do an interview like this together, and you can come out and say, hey, I live in Atlanta. When you're here, I want to open with you. I'll build that into the feature. Like now, all of a sudden, it's not just an audio file and an email, and this person doesn't really know you. Now they're actually doing business with you. They're conversing. They're starting to see this guy has his shit together. Oh, okay. Hey, you said you could do Atlanta. We're doing it next. Are you free then too? And now all of a sudden it's exactly because this guy's on time. He's not a dick. He knows what's going on. Like, oh, maybe we can do something here because I've been looking for an opener. Like, exactly. I'm really glad that worked out because a lot of music marketing help can be kind of theoretical. Oh, if Twista asks you to do a collab, here's how you do it. But 99.9% of people aren't ever going to get that opportunity.
Never.
But it's still good to know what to do. And there's a perfect example of look, this is how it works. It might not be a linear line, but you got to go up like this and you got to work with people. You got to network. You got to bring shit to the table. And I think too many musicians think that, well, what I'm bringing to the table is good music.
Nobody cares.
Great. That's the bare minimum. Okay. So now what? And unless you can rap like Kendrick Lamar and you're the top, people go, whoa. Unless you got that kind of talent, you have to play the game. And if you don't play the game, you will never win.
And look at the attention span of people. It's shorter and shorter. That's why TikTok is so successful. So now people really don't care how good you rap a lot of the times. They're looking for shock value. So they want you to entice your emotion, right? They want you to entice and stimulate them. They want to be stimulated, whether we like it or not.
And people love engaging with stuff they do not like.
Yep.
Right? You suck. Go back to wherever you're from. People so and that's part of why the algorithm, because TikTok and Instagram and Spotify for that matter are indifferent to if they think your content is any good. But if Instagram is man, a lot of people are engaging with this post, let's get more people to check it out. Whether it's good or bad, that's why some of this stuff that's really polarizing, where some people go, Donald Trump's a moron, and no, Joe Biden's a moron. That shit, people engage with it because they're either saying, yeah, I'm right, or no, you're an idiot. And if you're in the middle and you're just kind of, yeah, this is a solid song. It's about, whatever. It doesn't get that extreme reaction.
No shock value.
And I think you're right. The attention span is so short that the days, when I discovered Kid Cudi, he had, the Kid Named Cudi mixtape. It was, yeah, of course, Day and Night was on there, but the fact that the whole mixtape was awesome made me a fan. And then even J. Cole, Warm Up, and what was the other one? But those two mixtapes, all those artists, they got popular, at least in my head, or really resonated with me because I liked the album. But the days of finding a new artist I've never really heard of and checking out their whole album,
not happening. First of all, the machine won't let you. The machine's going to keep pushing the same artist in your face, man. Mm-hmm. Because financially, that's gonna help them win, right? And there's a lot of different entities tied to that. So you have to deal with what they're putting out. I mean, they try to force you to. But I listen to a lot of different music, so yeah.
Well, have you found that as you get older, the stuff you listen to changes, or is it more the stuff you listen to is the same stuff you listened to 8 years ago, and as you just listen to it again and again? Because that's what I found myself doing. I'm wondering what it's like for you.
As an artist, I'm always listening to new stuff, right? I love new sounds, but I listen to the same stuff that's I'll listen to the same similar 80-cent dance music that is remade by maybe a new artist that's making 80-cent wave type music.
Got it.
So I even when Tory Lanez made that album, the Alone at Prom album, right? That whole album was 80s driven. That's my favorite type of music to listen to is sunset down the street, driving down the street, Miami music, because it makes you feel good. When I was in the hood, man, when I was in the street, when I was doing my thing in the street, I'm in a gutter. I'm listening to Cyndi Lauper. I'm listening to Taylor Dane. I'm in the street listening to this stuff, man. I can't make this up, man. And I always knew I was different, musically inclined. I love feeling good. So at least that music made me feel like I was in California. It made me feel like I was in Florida. It made me feel like I was somewhere where it was beautiful. Even though I'm surrounded by poverty and I was surrounded by pain and crime, that song made me feel like I was in the Scarface movie when he got the new car. So that's why I would listen to the disco 80s, the bounce around, the Technotronics, the Rick James.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's why I sample a lot of that stuff, right? I even like the Stevie B's, the Madonnas, Ace of Base.
Sure.
All that stuff, man. I listen to a lot of different things like that.
Well, I think that's a good thing. It's so easy to get pigeonholed into like one small neighborhood of the city of music.
Yeah.
And you can take things of like, well, hey, like I like how the Beatles structured these songs. I bet I can structure one like that.
Yeah.
Make it my own. And like music has been taking from one another, like from itself since the beginning. Like, so like you can get things that worked for in excess in 1988 with like the way they broke down the drum beat or something. You could apply that to a drill beat now, and it might sound totally different, but you got the idea from going, hey, Phil Collins did this. It was dope. Like, let's put it in this.
I got drill Phil Collins music that I recorded that.
Drill Collins.
Yeah, I'm a change the drill Collins. It's 3 years old. It's 3 years old though.
Got it.
It's 3 years old. I've already recorded it.
That's awesome. If you make a Drill Collins mixtape, I would like to be.
I'm releasing right now. I'm releasing, 2 back-to-back projects. So I have a label meeting tomorrow, man. It's one of my first major label meetings. And like I said, I've been doing music for over 20 years, man. So I haven't, how many times people tell me to give up, and right. I'm just now talking to a label, and I've been doing this forever. And like, man, you old, you're 30s now, you got to quit. Where's the family? I think you guys even know how old these artists really are that are in the day. Like, I have people in the industry that I know for a fact their ages are fake, but I can't expose that information. But
you got to play the game.
I got to play the game. So you know. But I tell people, man, this is a marathon. You got to keep working. You got to just keep going. You got to put everything into it. You can't. And who your biggest dream killers are, or is your peers and the people you love. They will tell you to quit, but they will tell you, man, you need to be more responsible. And being an artist, being a rapper is irresponsible because you spend a lot of money on things that you're not guaranteed to get a return on.
Yep. I think that is true. I think one of the harsh realities that I've had to, or that I think I've learned as an adult is people want to see you be successful, but not more successful than them.
Yeah.
And as soon as you're all of a sudden, who do you think you are, nephew? Like, you think you're hung shot because you make money now? Like, a lot of that. And you're like, I'm sure it's different. You and I grew up in very different. I grew up in small town, New Hampshire, in the middle of fucking nowhere, like in the woods. So I assume our childhoods were very different. But I think a lot of the thing of just people in general, especially when someone is younger than them, doing like, because at some point, a lot of people have this, man, I fucked up moment. Or if I went all in, what would I have been? I don't think you're going to have that because you're going all in. I think like if someone, it's almost like if I saw some 25-year-old with a Ferrari or something and just like he made it, a part of me is like, that little fucker. It's like, I think that's natural, but it sucks that because as you climb that ladder, there's less people who are at the same level as you. And there's more people who resent that you're up there, either because they think they should be up there or they don't understand how you got there. They think you're lucky. They come out with every sort of excuse other than he worked really hard and he's super talented and he earns it.
Anything to discredit your growth. Instead of just, you know what? The dude worked fucking hard, man. He worked hard.
See the hard work. What's that? Like, there's some sort of like Scottie Pippen quote or something where it's like, if you want to, if I got to perform in this 1 minute in front of thousands, then I need to perform in front of no one for thousands of minutes to make sure I'm ready to even have the stage. It's something like that.
Yeah.
But people don't see the hard work. They don't see you in the gym. They don't see you sitting there in that room writing 20 songs to find the 3 that you want to go to the studio with. Like,
It was just, they don't even care. They don't, you don't see the $10,000 I wasted recording these songs. I'm only going to use one of them.
Right. They don't get that. And
you know how many videos I got I can't drop because they're dated or legal issues or 3. I mean, they might be too incriminated. I can't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a thing now.
I've shot great videos. I got great visuals, but I can't even drop them. How many people would cringe after spending thousands of dollars on something that you can't use?
Yeah. That sucks. Could you like blur your faces out and be like, ooh, somebody made a video of my song. I wonder who.
You know, right or wrong way to get in the industry, because you're in the industry. I feel like the moment you put material out on the web, but it's up to you to follow through, right? And to accept being in the industry and accept what comes with that. And a lot of sacrifice. And there's going to be there's a lot on the internet, especially on Instagram. There's a lot of scams. A lot of people can scam. Boost your profile, take you to the next level, get you a distribution deal. There's a lot of scams out there, but there's one thing that won't work with somebody that's hardworking. It's just being genuine and putting in work. They can't scam you out of your art. So if you know your art is something that nobody can ever take from you, they can steal, but that art is still in you. You still can create, and that's why I still do it. And that's why I'm still in the game. It's not because I definitely wasn't making a bunch of money doing music, but music allowed me to do business. Music opened the doors for me to do business, to make money outside of music.
Yes. I now see, as I've gotten older and more involved with working with more as I'm getting older, the artists I'm working with tend to be younger. And that is what you just said is something where I find myself starting to think about a lot, is how just me messing around with music got me to a spot where now I'm doing business with folks. Like, I met this really great business guy here in Charlotte who, like, he's an older guy, side hustle, like makes some rock music. But because I started working with him there, now all of a sudden I'm involved with some other things that have nothing to do with music, but we met because of music. And I've done, ever since I used to make music, I was nothing special. But if I had just stayed in like making music for myself, you and I probably would have never met. I probably never would have, had a conversation with Wendy Day or like Royce the 5'9" for a minute. But because I kind of switched, and now I was like, let me find, how can I give value to folks in music rather than just ask for attention? And once I started giving value, I've met you, I've met some people. And because I've done these things in music, I've been able to sidestep into these things that I never would have been involved in as just some guy. Like getting in here has opened the door for me in so many different ways that it's really incredible. So get in the music industry because it teaches you how to market. It teaches you project management of working with a producer, mixing it, getting a song done, figuring out how to get it on Spotify. Like, it's not necessarily easy. So it gives you a lot of skills that are very applicable to other areas.
No, definitely. And like, again, music has allowed me to do business. Has allowed me to, oh, you rap? Oh yeah, I got this company. Oh, what do you do over there? Cool. And then all of a sudden you're involved with another a company because you did a song with Twist or you do music and they like your music. They like you as a person. Now they want to work with you in this other entity that's going to bring you revenue, which you're not getting revenue directly from the music, but the music got you into the door to get revenue from that particular business. That's what music has done for me. That's why I was able to, that's how I own my own gym, like in our own commercial real estate. I'm in my own building right now, like this is, but I got this indirectly from music.
That's awesome.
Even though it didn't come directly from music.
Yep. Well, that aligns. Something I say all the time is you don't monetize your music. You use your music to build an audience and monetize the audience. Maybe not for everybody. Of course, you can make some money on streams, but the real money, don't buy the building. But meeting someone because of putting yourself out there and you're marketing successfully and however you ended up in that situation, indirectly, get you the building. You monetize the audience, not the music.
Yeah, that's what's been working for me, man. And that's why it feels so good to and to finally start to reach a level. Like even now, this is one of my biggest years getting booked for shows. I'm getting booked with Twisted. Now I'm performing with them. So now they're booking. Now I'm getting booked with this guy. So I went from paying him to now charging a fee to be with him.
Love it. You earned it. That's how it goes.
That doesn't happen within 3 years of this working and still working the same damn song. I didn't even make a new song yet. I got new songs with them. I'm ready to record now. But to say that one song and that one relationship took me across the country. Now I know promoters everywhere. I know celebrities they text me, I text them back. Like, I'm in the car now. And but now I'm getting booked at a rate that a lot of artists who have major label deals, I'm getting paid more than them. And so that goes to show you don't gotta have a major label deal or anything to be successful in your own right. You just gotta fucking stay the course. Put the work in. Put the work in.
I'm wondering what has changed in your mind now. Okay, have you not had a big label meeting partly by choice, and now you're at a point where like, okay, hey, I've got the 10x that they want to turn into 100. I've finally got the 10. Like, are you in this position because you chose to now look out for a deal like this, or was it you've finally broke through the floor and now they see you and now they're ready for you?
Both. Again, the music has allowed me to do business. I had a mutual business connect, and they had a label they were dealing with, getting them some, making sure the label had funding and things like that. And they took a liking to me. They're like, whoa, this guy's incredible. He don't got a deal yet. So then, I had a couple meetings, but it was both. Like, because it's expensive being an independent artist.
Yeah.
I mean, you spend a lot of money. If I wasn't an independent artist, I'd probably be on a jet somewhere. I don't know. But then again, I might not, because then I wouldn't have the opportunities I have now. Wouldn't be talking to you.
Right. Yeah, we wouldn't be talking to this ginger guy.
No. and I love ginger guys, man. Shout out to South Park, man. South Park really gave me a good understanding of the ginger culture and stuff. So.
That's right. I'm like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I don't have the freckles, but I've got the red hair for sure. I got the red beard. In fact, my red beard is turning white. So
wow.
Maybe that'll be good for me. I won't be a ginger. I'll just look like Santa.
I got a homie named Redbeard, man. He is a ginger, and I'm so mean to him, man. He's such a cool dude, though. So funny, man.
Yeah, we're used to it. We're usually the butt of the joke. That's for sure.
You guys are, unfortunately, but you guys are awesome. So
I appreciate it, man. You are awesome. You've got an awesome career. I told you the last thing I would want to plug is the song Shooting Stars, because that's got one of my favorite albums of all time is the documentary. I think it's one of the most underrated hip hop albums of all time.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how you linked up with the Game, and was that something where, hey, he was like a friend of a friend, we linked it up, or was like, hey, I went to LA, we got together and we sat there and we made the song?
Yo, I'll be honest with you, man. I was dealing with a marketing guy on Instagram who was helping me build my portfolio like this for Instagram. And he's like, hey man, I got the song with the Game. You want to get on it? And I was like,
okay,
whatever.
Yeah.
I heard the song and I was like, man, I don't want to do no verse, man. I'll do the chorus. The chorus was so dry. I said, let me do the chorus. So in my mind, I'm like, make sure I say my name in the chorus and, just make the chorus a little bit personable, but still keep it lit. Sure. So when I said the chorus over there, it was like, this is fire. So we did the song and then it never dropped. Nothing never happened. I just got the Game file. All of a sudden I look up the other day and it's on the Game's page.
Ah.
So then my monthly listeners shoot up. Right. So now I'm getting all this traction, organic traction from the Game. Yep. And then that's when the label sees the monthly listeners. That's when the label comes. Because you know how it is. If you got over 100,000 monthly listeners, the labels are like,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, we can make some money here. Yeah.
Let's make some money off this guy. So once that happened, that's when I got the label. But that song with the game had nothing to do with me. In fact, I had talked to the game via internet, and I was actually going to do a separate feature myself with him and fly out there. But I was so busy working with the Twista thing, I didn't get back to it because Twista had me in every freaking city you could imagine down in Atlanta. I mean, I was in a Lovers and Friends tour, a show like with Lauryn Hill and Snoop Dogg and all those. Like I performed in Vegas. I went to Vegas as a rapper this time, not as a tourist. It was crazy. So,
the other side of Vegas.
well, I got to see the other side of Vegas, man. It was way different because I don't know, man. I remember going to Vegas with like $300 in my pocket, man, just trying to stretch it out. When I was back in the day, and I was still rapping, but I was down on money like that because I was down on money. And I was going. This time was different. Like I'm, riding, with all the artists and with Maya and Drew Hill, and I'm in the trailers. I'm riding in the golf cart. It was just, I don't even know how to explain it, man. It was actually, you know what? We did an interview together when I was in Vegas.
Did you really?
Yeah. You guys, I did a video for you. I was wearing a Red Bulls jersey.
Oh, yeah.
And I was in a trailer and with Twista. And so when Twista has a trailer, it's like, oh, Mario Canon is going to be with Twista. They already expect to see me. It's weird because when he goes places, people expect to see me now.
You guys go together.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, that is, so wait. So in Vegas, was Snoop Dogg there?
Snoop Dogg, Lauryn Hill.
I'm just dying to know what a night in Vegas with Snoop Dogg is like.
I didn't catch one that night because me and Twista had another show to go do. So we had to go do an after set.
And that must have been pretty cool.
Yo, that was lit.
Yeah.
So we leave there, go back to the room, get ready for the after set. Boom, we go right to the after set, kill it. It was so dope, man. Damn. So dope.
Vegas is the place to have an after set.
Oh, it was an after set for the after set. That's for sure, man. It was lit, man. I was excited, man. For real.
Damn. Well, I have actually not been to Vegas yet. I keep hearing it's a blast.
Yo,
I haven't been, dude. I know.
Come on, E-Money, man. You supposed to be in Vegas.
I should go. I'll meet you out there next time, and we can do the after show,
bro.
Where I'll get up there and make the ginger stomp.
I'm in Vegas all the time.
Okay.
All the time now. So Vegas is like it's not too far from AZ, it's like it's right there. So a lot of my friends go back and forth to Vegas. So sometimes I'm included on those trips.
Got it. Okay.
Sometimes I just gotta go to Vegas. I was on a Brad Lee show out there.
I saw that. I was wondering how that happened because I follow him, and one day I see a video, I'm kind of mindlessly, and I see a video and it's you talking. I'm like, oh, Mario. And I click it and it's Brad's page and I'm like, what the fuck? And it was just like such a surprise where I was like, wait, what a weird moment where like this, oh yeah, there's a guy I used to work with and there he is on this show that I like to watch. Like it was kind of like this, like it happened so organically that I was like so surprised. But that must have been pretty cool, huh?
Brad Lee's fucking the man, dude. Gave me a cell phone number. He loved my song, Stevie J. He actually likes my music, so it's pretty cool.
He seems like a fun guy to have a couple of drinks with, especially in Vegas.
Yeah, he just talks his shit, man. He's intense, man. Brad Lee's that dude. He's a mother humper to keep up with, man. Imagine trying to keep up with Brad Lee. That's a feat in itself, man. He's a machine. Yeah, he's a machine.
Damn. Well, shout out to Brad and
shout out to Brad Lee, man.
Brad Lee. And shout out to you. I really appreciate your time. I think a lot of what you've had to say, I think is really going to resonate with some younger artists who are aspiring to get in the spots that you're in. Key takeaway I thought was being so clairvoyant of how powerful networking is. Instead of just being like, oh, no, it's all my talent. What are you talking about?
No, do the shows, man. Work with people. do the shows, do the small shows, do them all. Don't. What I see now with artists is they act like they made it